Hi, Papa Yeager here with This Day in History. February 2nd, 1848, the United States and Mexico signed the Treaty of Guadalupe, Hidalgo, which ended the Mexican War. The Mexican War was not a war that needed to be fought. We fought the Mexican War because Polk and much of America had this obsession with manifest destiny. This idea that we were going to stretch all the way from ocean to ocean and take over as much of the continent as possible. It was believed that God had somehow destined America to rule a large swath of territory. The war with Mexico gave us a huge, vast amount of territory. Territory that we carved the states, California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, and even parts of Wyoming and Colorado. All of that belonged to Mexico first. That's important to note. They spoke Spanish in the Southwest and in California before they ever spoke English. The war was started because we annexed Texas. Texas had fought a war for independence, and the United States initially did not want to annex Texas because they knew that was going to be problematic with Mexico. However, when Polk took office, one of his campaign promises was that he would make Texas part of America. And he did. And the problem was that they didn't really agree on the border. Mexico thought the border was in one place, Texas in another. And when a skirmish broke out in the contested territory, Polk accused Mexico of invading the United States. And this is what launched us into a war that did not need to be fought. It was all orchestrated. Polk had initially tried to buy California. And when Mexico refused to sell, war was the only other option. After the war, the treaty was signed. The question now was, what do we do with slavery? Because that was the big issue. That was causing a lot of fracture between the North and the South. And 2 years after, we had the Compromise of 1850, which tried to kind of ease tensions. But as we all know, the Civil War ended up happening because that issue of slavery was just not going to go away. Anyway, that's This Day in History, February 2nd, 1848. The Treaty of Guadalupe, Hidalgo, ends the Mexican-American War, and we gained a great deal of territory. Mexico was lost half of its territory in this. But again, remember, a lot of our territory spoke Spanish before it ever spoke English.